Hello. I wasn't drinking coffee really quickly at all. That wasn't what was happening in that minute. Hello. Welcome back to Redmen TV. This is the player rankings show, the part of the night where I put these beautiful faces in these sections here, from boss sound to your messing. If this is your first time at this particular section, I have a very, very, very minuscule say on what happens here. You, lovely, lovely people at home, in work, wherever you are telling me what happens for the next 20 minutes or so. Let's keep it to 20 minutes, guys, because I want to get home. It's been a long day. But a good day, because Liverpool won 1-0 against Girona, if you haven't heard. And it was sound. It wasn't particularly enthralling, but it was fine. A lot of people talk about the penalty. I left on a bit of a cliffhanger the last bit. I apologise. A lot of people talk about the fact that the penalty or not. Whatever. Move on. It's all that matters. Don't worry about the minor details. Let's do this then, shall we? Let's start with, speaking of beautiful men, Alisson Becker. He's back like he's never been away. And he was really good. He was really busy. He made some really good saves. And he was commanding, because that first half in particular, we were a bit too open at times. Girona attacked us with vigour. They attacked us with intensity. They attacked us with intent as well, to their credit. And they were able to get at us in a big way far too often. It'd be too much of a stretch to say we were under the cosh, because we absolutely were not. We had more than our fair share of moments ourselves. But yeah, I thought we weren't quite at it, and therefore we required Alisson Becker to be at it. And lo and behold, Alisson Becker was at it. Adam Havison kicks us off with a boss. Sayan Roy also says boss. Craig Eaton says the boss. Return of the King quad bod. That I like. And the rest of you are just arguing about whether it's a penalty or not. So I think we were going for boss for Alisson Becker. I should add at this point, actually, we've had an early call for man of the match from Stevie G. And I can't ignore Stevie. Man of the match for me, I know Salah scored, but still. Well, we'll get to man of the match. I'll mention right now that when I do this, that's only sort of part of the process. It's a fine part, it's quite an important part. But if you think I put him too high or too low in the particular segment, do let me know on that front as well, because you'll see as we go along that it all sort of mashes a little bit, and we need to sort of differentiate between the people, because otherwise, the whole thing's a complete waste of everyone's time. So yeah, do that, please. Let me know. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Not the most flashiest of Trent's performances, I wouldn't have said. Ali flies higher, heads and scores. Okay, he does do that, yeah. Trent, you're messing from Robert. That is a start and a half. Turbo Minty Fresh says sound. Freedom Journey also says that. Your messing feels a bit harsh. In fact, it feels very harsh. I'm going to go one step further. And we also do have a man of the match card, by the way, for those of you who want to throw in your penny's worth. But a high sound, but a boss from Everton Cop Out. Okay. Trent was boss, high sound. Nico, what does boss mean? It just means brilliant, like it's really good, basically. High sound, high sound, low boss. Trent, a lot of high sounds there. So I'm going to pop in there, sort of straddling those two, if that's okay for everyone. I'm going to put him there. Joey Gomez. Booked Joe Gomez. Looked, when the game was a little bit frantic, he just looked a little bit, I'm dying to say something. Not all at sea, that's extreme. But sometimes when you've seen sort of the worst version of Joey at times, I don't know, there's a couple of moments where he just looked a little bit panicky, a little bit flustered. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was good. Generally, but there's just one or two moments in the game when it got a little bit stretched and Girona were having some joy. I don't know. He doesn't worry me. But because of seeing him have performances where he does just capitulate and he can't get back on track again, he can't sort of rejuvenate himself and come back around. He just, there's just something about it. I feel really harsh saying it because I think he's a brilliant footballer. Like, I'm one of the biggest advocates for Joe Gomez because I think he's a top level footballer and he's proven that time and time again for Liverpool. But he does just have this thing, and I don't know whether it's just the way he looks sometimes when he's playing or whether it's just the facial expression. I'm not sure, but yeah, maybe quad bod. Maybe I am being extremely harsh here. But there were definitely one or two moments tonight when I thought, I don't know, he just looked a little bit concerned about what was going on, and I didn't want him to sort of, scupper his performance or get in his head. And they didn't, to his credit, I guess. Could have scored as well. Probably the closest he's come to scoring for a while, actually. Decent save from Cavaniga. Anyway, Mid-Sound made a few good blocks. Yeah, he did. He did some really good stuff in the game, actually, defensively. But yeah, there's just, I don't know. Probably the worst of the back four. Robbo and Trent going AWOL. They do that. He should be used to that. Feels like Joey's got a mistake in him. It worries me. Can't shake it off. Yeah, some interesting points being made here. Low sound but solid. Gomez was better than Trent. Ooh, thanks, Ad. Okay. I'm glad someone's with me. I feel like I was sort of out on my own then on a limb a little bit, and I'm not really pinpointing any moment tonight when he did anything particularly wrong. But when he just about deals with one or two situations, I don't know what it is. There's just something. Yeah, maybe it is the history thing that makes me think, oh, I've seen this before. I know how this ends a little bit. Anyway, I'll stop talking. I'm going to pop Joe in a high sound. I'm going to low sound there. Good game. High boss. Oh, Dazzler. You're a very generous man. Let's go on to Virgil. Virgil. What do we make of Big Virg tonight? Clean sheet, says Freedom. Big high for Joey. Yeah, it would have been glorious, Mike. I agree. That would have been the one lasting memory from this game had he have scored. Literally, everyone will forget about this game so quickly, but it could have been so much different as well. Let's do Virgil, shall we? Again, part of a back four to keep the clean sheet. Also part of a back four that looked a little bit more under pressure, maybe than it would have wanted to been in the first half. But was he the reason we managed to sort of keep our composure and keep the clean sheet and sort of led with the authority that he so often does? Let's have a look in the chat, shall we? Absolute boss, high sound, boss. You could tell he hadn't played for a few years. Sound, Virgil was boss, complete general from start to finish. In between Trent and Ali, okay. That might be a fair point. And he has shown that in the past, that when he is out in the cold for so long and he is get thrown back in, his performances can capitulate somewhat. So it's probably a fair point. And again, I'm not talking too negatively about Joe, because I really like Joe Gomez. I think he's a great footballer and such an important part of the squad because of his versatility. So I'm not writing him off by any stretch of the imagination. John Yen says Virgil boss. Okay. What do people say? Between Trent and Ali, so sort of there for Virg? Is that right? Are we happy with that? I'm happy with that. High sound. Listen, Girona posed a threat. They posed a real live threat at times, so take nothing away from them. Somebody says man the match. And we'll get to that. Andy Robbo. I thought he was a bit, I don't know whether he was unlucky or whether he should have spotted where the runners were. Because there's a moment, it's actually a really nice bit of football for Liverpool. The one time we'd managed to sort of play through Girona and trying to get around their block and get around the fact they were cutting off the lane so impressively for most of the first half. He gets around the side of Diaz on the overlapping run and dinks the ball to the back post after I think Diaz himself, maybe Nunes and Salah, have all sort of merged to the front post or to the near post into the centre of the goal a little bit, trying to get on the end of a pullback. Good, and a willing runner, always the energy. He was given man the match. I've seen that by UEFA. Did see that. They've got a bit of a tendency to give left backs man the match. They give Costa Simicas man the match over in Leipzig, I think I'm right in saying, and he was good, and as was Robbo tonight, but I'm not sure. Stevie G, not as precise with his crosses, feeling his corners left a little bit to be desired tonight. I think that's a fair point. Low sound, lots of low sounds. Mafia boss. No, different, mate. Mid sound did his job. I'm pretty pretty content with that. What does Ikram say here? Andy was sound, a few slip-ups, but always redeemed himself in the game. Okay. Mid-sound. I've got a nice space for mid-sound there as well. I like that. That works for me. Ryan Gravenberch, the people's favourite, Ryan Gravenberch. What do we reckon? What do we reckon? Listen, fella's class, isn't he? Ultimately, I feel like another one, we almost have to sort of separate the two halves here in a lot of ways, because we couldn't really get to grips with the game properly. Like, not to say we were struggling, but we couldn't really get a stranglehold and get a foothold in the game in the first half, and he was part of that ultimately. But it's the way half turns, and we spoke about it so much this season, but that turn, like, oh dear me, I love him so much. Ikram says, sound, robust and dependable, boss, positioning, yeah, positioning, and that is a side of his game that it seems to have come on and seems to have been sort of unearthed. I don't know if he learnt it, during the summer under Arne Slot or what, but we spoke about it earlier on in the early show. Like, we never would have seen this version of Ryan Gravenberch previously. And that's not, because Klopp couldn't have brought it out of him. He probably could have. But he just has took him to a completely new level. He's sort of breathed a new lease of life into Ryan Gravenberch, and he has just ran with it and ran with it and ran with it. And his running games of football now, more or less, just a joy to watch. Stevie G says the best of the night overall. Steady Eddie. What's this? Oh, I get it. Yeah, nice gag. Let's go for boss. No question, says Ma B. That'll do for me. The way he reads the game is fantastic. Still, so yeah, he is. He's still, and for a player playing in that position at the base of midfield, at the very, very pinnacle of the game, top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League, to be so young and to be doing it with such style and such class. Ryan Gravenberch, ladies and gentlemen, an early contender for man of the match there with Alisson Becker. Watch this space. Straddling boss, says Richie Batty. Okay, you're not quite as high then. Okay. Let's do Curtis Jones. I'll just knock Ryan down a touch. Let's do Curtis. I thought Curtis had a really quiet first half, actually, and then grew into it as the second half wore on, and showed moments of his class, really. But yeah, I was a little bit ever so slightly disappointed with him in the first, to be honest. But yeah, and then obviously gets taken off. Harvey Elliott comes on, which was nice to see. Low boss from Quad Bod Mid Sound says Misty Jones. Don is not happy. Don King's not happy one bit. Barely beat Girona. Look at the boss scores. What the fuck? Move them all down, Dan. What do you reckon to that, ladies and gentlemen? Let me know in the chat. Should I listen to Don, or do I just ignore Don and carry on with my night? Do let me know. Low sound from Mark. High sound kept the ball. Well, I'm not sure that's true, Marcus. I'm going to be honest. I've heard of some sort of mad agendas in my time, but English to Scottish is not one that exists. Not round here anyway. Not round Liverpool. Like, that's not true. Some of our greatest ever footballers have been Scottish. One of whom happens to be Andy Robertson. So I'm sorry, I can't let that slide. There is no anti-Scotland nor Andy Robertson agenda here. Certainly not for my sake, anyway. Let's just clear that up right now. Listen, Stevie, I've been wrong before, mate, and that's fine. Low sound, Don King spoiled already. Listen, it's whatever. Ignore, thank you. I'll do it. Don can do one. That'll do for me. Yeah, we'll get to that. I'm looking forward to that. It's Curtis Jones. Sorry. I see. Yeah. Okay. My bad. We never win that, Scott. You're absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. Sounds a pound, Mike. You'll do for me, my mate. Curtis. Again, I think most of them were sound. We'll talk about one in a bit more detail later on. There aren't any real standout performers. There aren't any really bad ones. So yeah, let's just get this going, shall we? Dom Szoboszlai. Again, potentially could have had an assist had Darwin not done what Darwin did. Yeah, energy, as always, led a couple of our counter-attacks quite well. It felt like constantly at it, constantly pressing, constantly trying to find a way, unlock the Girona defence. Yeah, I don't know. Gravin boss out, Awesome's not happy. Awesome's not happy one bit. Listen, we should be better. Nobody's denying that. We absolutely should be better. Sometimes your opponents can play well, but sometimes you just got to take what you're given, get out of there. Winning in Europe, it's not to be sniffed at. 6 out of 6 in the Champions League, 18 points out of 18. Was it perfect? Looking far from it. Do we need to play better to do stuff this season? Absolutely we do. But with the facts as they are right now, we've got to roll with it. Don King's back again. He knows the level. Nice, stand corrected. Don worked hard sound, high sound. Savoz boss sound, workhorse, but end product. Yeah, the end product thing remains a thing, and it's such an annoyance. And I've probably said this like 15 times this season, which might be an exaggeration, but I've said it now anyway. He's got so much quality. Like, that's what I can't quite put my finger on what's missing. And the only sort of conclusion I can come to, and it's one other people have made before, so it's not exactly, new, but is he works so hard and he runs himself so hard and into the ground so much that when he does get it, and it's such a ridiculous statement to make because he's a supremely fit athlete, but when he does get it, he's a bit knackered and his thinking's a little bit clouded and he can't act in the same way that he once was because there's no explanation, there's no other explanation as to why his quality often leaves so much to be desired, because when he came into the team and when you watch him play for Hungary and what he's done at Leipzig before and Salzburg before that as well, he's got tons and tons of quality. Like, he scores, he's technically very, very good. And he very, very often picks the right pass and makes the right decision. But for some reason at the minute, for Liverpool this season, that's just not happening more often than not. And it's weird. And it needs sorting. Luis Diaz. Anyway, he won the pen. He did win the pen. What else did he do? He ran at people. He's a constant thorn in the side of most teams. I'll tell you what he did do. He pissed off that referee. That referee was having none of Luis Diaz, by the way, none of him. To the point whereby Diaz was literally sat on the floor, fella runs into him, fella trips over, Diaz gets booked for it. Like, the referee was not interested in Luis Diaz at all. Jordan Anderson's Diaz was boss, great work, great. Something's not clicking with a few of our players, but still winning. Yeah, and something's not clicking with Liverpool generally in the best possible way. I've said this fucking loads. But, like, the fact that we aren't anywhere near the finished article and we're not a well-oiled machine, and it does look a little bit shit at times, but yet still continue to win games, continue to keep clean sheets, and continue to move away from our rivals in lots of senses. That only bodes well, in my opinion. I only see that as a positive. But maybe that's just me. Diaz boss and forward, yeah, he did look a bit more home there, didn't he? Which is odd, really, considering where he spent pretty much his entire career. Diaz boss always a handful. Yeah, he's a handful for everyone tonight, like I say, including the ref, really. And again, won the pen for us. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm just happy, full stop. Darwin. Ooh. Ooh. I've realised what I let myself in for there. Darwin Núñez. Come on, I'm waiting. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just waiting for you. I'm going to bring up the chat. Freedom Journey says low messing. That's our starting off point. Our starting off point is there. Do we have any advance on that? You're messing. Did nothing at all. When's Jota back? High messing from Liam Daly. Archie English says next. Hi, you're messing from Stevie G. What's lower than you're messing? That's the floor, mate. I'll be honest. Seth says sound. Gerard says sound. Okay. Low sound missed a lot of chances. He missed the Gazaniga chance. A decent save, to be fair. I actually don't think it's the worst finish in the world. I'm going to be dead honest with you. And I'm prepared to literally get things thrown at me through a screen, trying not to break whatever as you watch it. I don't think it's the worst finish in the world. And if it goes in, we're probably having a conversation about how good a finish it is. Actually, it's the fact that Gazaniga does stick a leg out and save it that makes everything different. And if it isn't Darwin Núñez, let's say Mo Salah does that from the other side. Because of the credit he's got in the bank and where our heads are at with Mo Salah, We don't even talk about it. We say, oh, that's annoying. He probably should have scored. But we all move on immediately. Because it's Darwin, and there are so many questions about whether he is the man for the job, I have them myself. You're not alone in that camp. Because it's him, and about a minute earlier, he inexplicably tried to head it back to somebody. I think it's a fucking strange decision, and even worse, execution. But yeah, because it's Darwin, it just compiles and compounds the issues and raises even more questions. And yeah, a lot of people have said this for a long time, Adam, and I'm with you, to be honest, because everyone used to say, oh, his movement's really good, he's getting on the end of things, he's the one offering, he's the one creating opportunities, and yeah, I've tended to agree for a long time, but how often can you say the same things for? You know what I mean? I don't know how long you can keep that going, personally. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's fucking hard. He's had 2 good chances. Low sound, sitting on the ball. You're messing, Sam, but we need a boss performer. That's a very good way of putting it. I'm going to be honest with you. Especially a centre forward. Like, centre forward is such a pivotal position on the pitch. They're all important. I'm not saying that any one position is more important than the other, really. But your centre forward, man, that's the guy that wins your games of football. That's the guy that wins your leagues sometimes. It's the guy that, you know, makes a difference. And thankfully, we've got Mo Salah to do that more often than not. But yeah, and the centre forward is different in our side. It is, you do need more from it. It's more the link, the work and all that. And he does bring that, but he also brings moments of frustration and moments where you just wish you did have somebody more clinical, ultimately. You've got the non-clinical Darwin Núñez, because I'm not sure, what's he got, like 30-odd goals in almost 3 years with us now? You've got the non-clinical Darwin Núñez, and you've got the very clinical Diogo Jota, who can't stay available, ultimately. So, yeah, I think there's something coming. Yeah, exactly, Adam. I didn't even see this comment by the time I got around to finishing my point. Okay, I'm going to put it on the board now. Yeah, I think so. Oh, Doco 15, he's going to come good. You've said it now. I feel like I've said that so many times. 36 goals all comps. He's been here for a while for that, hasn't he? I like him a lot. I do. And I want it to work so badly. But my God. Okay, let's do it. Mo Salah. Match winner Mo. As ever, match winner Mo. Mo Salah does Mo Salah things because he's Mo Salah. I mentioned a couple of numbers around it before, but I think that's 28 goals and assists so far this season in 22 games. Staggering. 50 Champions League goals now for Liverpool for Mo Salah. 6 Champions League penalties scored for Mo Salah, which is equal with Stevie G's namesake, Stevie G. Just sublime. Utterly sublime. And the penalty was, emphatic, wasn't it, to be fair? You wouldn't have thought he missed one like 2 weeks ago, would you? Because he doesn't show any signs of that impacting or affecting his mindset whatsoever. He's just cold. And he just wins games of football. Again, Liverpool were not at our best at all today, but we own Mo Salah, so we win. It's good. Gemma says Salah pure boss. Never going to be less than boss. Salah, Mo boss. Sound is pens. Now, you know what, Ben? I don't know if we've spoke before, but hi, nice to meet you. I was one of the biggest sort of critiques of Mo Salah's penalties for a long time, because even though he scored almost all of them, as evidenced by the numbers on what I've just said, there was something about him that just made me terrified. But I've come full circle on him a little bit recently. I feel like he's got more, I don't know, accurate, like more assured with them. I don't know, his technique feels like it's changed a bit. He used to just absolutely blam him as hard as he could and hope. But I feel like he's got better these days. And I also seen him miss one, Bournemouth away, when we've got beat 1-0. So maybe that played into my thinking somewhat. Mo Salah did quite well. Yeah, he does do that, doesn't he? Colder than Cole Palmer. Came in clutch as usual. That is not a term I would use unless somebody wrote it down in front of me. Hi Sam, match winner again. Boss, Mo, boss for Salah. Okay, I'm going to stop saying words now. Núñez should have scored from his pass. Yeah, it would have been another assist for Mo. I'm going to pop him there, and you'll see why in a minute. Let's do some subs dead quickly. I'll grab them all at once because I always do that. We're tired of those magnets, and they're absolute lazzies here. Dear me. Dear God. Cody Gakpo, Harvey Elliott. How nice was it to see Harvey Elliott back, by the way? And I feel like I said that a couple of weeks ago when he came on, but yeah, he's back again. Just like him a lot. And I must admit, when it was still 0-0, and Girona were remaining quite difficult to break down and quite compact, and they were, congesting their particular third of the pitch, and we weren't finding a way. There was a lot of me thinking Harvey Elliott could be the guy here, like we've seen so often last season from the bench. Just comes on and finds a way, finds a space, like a little pocket, and just unlocks a defence. Didn't need that, ultimately, but yeah, nice to have him back. Liam Daly says Harvey's tempo on the ball is so refreshing. Jordan, nice to see him back. Feels like a new signing again. We're in Adam Lallana's territory here. Gakpo thought it was good when he came on sound. Subs all sound, 3 subs were sound. You know what I like for doing this, all 3? I'm a big fan. Just praise them all in whatever order you want, by the way. But I'll just put them on the board while you do it. Let's go with Taru there. He was on for literally like a minute and a half. Cody Gakpo, I like Cody Gakpo when he came on. I like Cody Gakpo, full stop though. And Harvey Elliott looks very like rap cover Harvey Elliott there, doesn't he? He's going to spit some serious bars, which again isn't something I'd normally say. Arne Slot is a long way down here, aren't it? Oh, God, me legs. Sorry, I thought something fell then. Panicked. Arne Slot. We always do Arne Slot. Yeah, I mean, let's think. Team selection-wise, went strong. Went really, really strong. And we won. Kept a clean sheet, which is good. The changes... Do you think he would have liked to have took Trent off? I feel like he might have liked to have taken Trent off. Maybe even Andy Robertson as well. James Norris, James McConnell, Joel Quansah could have done a job there at right back, of course. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe he might have wanted to have done that in a different circumstance. Anyway, boss. Cody can even be put between Diaz and Jones. Oh, you really liked Cody. I'm not going to argue with you. Not with this jumper on, I'm not. Arne Slot, the boss is boss. Arne won his 6th straight game in Europe. Jesus. I mean, I knew that, but when you put it like that, Jesus. Arne Slot can change the team. It's like a chameleon sound. I've never heard him described as a chameleon before, but I like it. Jordan Anderson should have made his subs earlier. Slight criticism. Okay. I'd give the boss a high sound today. I'm going to venture on the high sound regions of this board. And that's not because I'm overly... What the fuck happened there? He's actually got semi-decent magnets. I just completely missed the board there, or... I don't know what's going on with Arne there. I can't even begin to explain that. Yeah, honestly, I'm properly baffled by that. He's there, clinging on for dear life, to be honest with you. But yeah, high sound. I think it's the first time he's not been in the boss, certainly while I've done this show. And I'm not saying anything wrong tonight, but yeah, I don't know, maybe he's the subs earlier, might have been a point. Vitaro Endo more like a minute and a half, whatever it was. And maybe he would have wanted to do something with the fullbacks. The game state didn't allow him to, so I don't really blame him for not. But yeah, I do feel as though getting... I like that. I do feel as though getting the fullbacks off would have been a really nice way to sort of round off this game in terms of rotation and that sort of thing. Yeah, okay, it's a good point, Jeffrey. It's a good point, well presented. But I'm not going to move him because it's essentially floating at this point. Kind of is. To be fair, let's do man the match, which is a circle that's on the floor. God, everything's on the fucking floor, man. Oh, God, my legs are in absolute bits. Man the match. Who is it? We're probably talking this top row, if I just nudge Virgil up slightly there. We're probably talking out of these 4, I would say. So as ever, see you Saturday, mates. Take it easy. Have a good one. As ever, at this point, if you can just absolutely bombard the chat with who you believe I should stick this next to, which you're kind of doing with Alisson Becker, to be honest with you. That'd be massively appreciated. Charlotte thinks it's Ali as well. Mo Salah, Van Dijk. Couple of Virgil shouts coming in now. Seth, Alisson, Ikram, Ali as well. Kelleher, you're messing. Yeah, it's probably a fair assessment. Virgil, Ali or Graf. You can't give me Andor's. Quad bod, come on. Julian, okay, you didn't give me an Andor, I'll let you off. Mo, Ali. I'll be honest with you, guys. I've had a lot more Alis than I've had anybody else. Ryan King, Liam, Nathan. That's 3 Alissons on the run. And you know what that means? It spells disaster for the others. Because that means on his return to the side, return of the Beck, I'm going to call it, which should have been saved for Owen Beck whenever he comes back, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers. Alisson Becker, man of the match. Nice. I like that. Michaela, VAR, man of the match. Yeah, I tend to agree a little bit, to be honest. I don't know who it was in there, but I assume he had a Liverpool shirt on. I didn't. Yeah, take it and run. Sounds, that is that done. I'm done. I'm so done. I'm so done. Fed up with all of you. I'm joking. Love you all dearly. That's the end of this bit. That's the end of the whole night, actually. I can round off everything now. Chloe, Steve, they're in there. I think they're nearly done as well, which would be nice. I can talk to them in a minute. Yeah, Liverpool 1, Girona 0. Jobs are good 'un. We move on. Again, wasn't mind-blowingly brilliant. I'm probably going to forget about it the minute I drive out of this car park, but, you know, that's fine. We are perfect in Europe. We are top of the Champions League, massive league. We are top of the Premier League. We got Fulham on the weekends. We cannot complain. We cannot complain. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for getting involved all evening, night long. It's massively appreciated. Thank you for this bit, because again, it would be nothing without you. Absolutely nothing. I look even more ridiculous than I do now. Honestly, thank you again. I will be here Saturday. I'm doing the watch along on Saturday, which is new. Not new, but doesn't happen often. So yeah, do join us for that, because it'll be good fun, I'm sure. Liverpool should beat Fulham. Bye. Chloe's waving to me, so we're going to say bye. Bye.